The world knew Alexander Voss as many things: billionaire, tech mogul, philanthropist, and the man whose private jet collection was worth more than small nations. But behind the glossy magazine covers and stage smiles lay a marriage quietly tested by the unforgiving eyes of the public. Evelyn Voss, his pregnant wife, had always preferred to stay out of the limelight. Graceful, gentle, and well loved by those who truly knew her, she was the one who grounded Alexander's whirlwind life. The world didn't know that Evelyn came from an extremely private but powerful family, one with influence beyond money. Her three older brothers, known for their global empire and protective nature, rarely appeared in public. They loved their sister and kept a watchful distance, stepping in only when needed. And today, it was necessary. Rumors swirled about Marina Hale, a socialite craving drama and status. She had entangled herself with Alexander during a rocky time in his marriage, a mistake he regretted. But Marina, addicted to wealth and attention, refused to back down. Marina clashed with Evelyn at a charity gala, turning a peaceful night into a shocking scene. Marina pushed the pregnant Evelyn during an argument, not hard but enough to stun onlookers. Soon, a $50 million jet landed, and Evelyn's brothers emerged, their presence commanding attention. Evelyn grasped the railing, her hand protectively on her belly. The room gasped as Marina acted nonchalant, despite the tension. Security and staff were paralyzed. The music halted. Alexander hurried to Evelyn, worried. "Evie, are you all right?" he asked, trembling. Evelyn reassured him. "I'm okay, just surprised." Marina mocked Evelyn, saying she overreacted. Guests murmured and recorded the scene. Alexander confronted Marina, furious. "You went too far," he said. Marina retorted, "You said you were leaving her. Why's she still around?" The tension escalated, drawing more attention. A thunderous sound filled the air, growing louder. People gazed at the runway as a silver jet landed, its lights illuminating the night. Someone recognized it as the Rowan brothers' jet, and whispers spread. Alexander felt dread, knowing the brothers were on board. He realized the situation was about to spiral out of control. The jet halted with precision, its engines still humming. The Rowan brothers' arrival was unmistakable, commanding attention. Security rushed as the gala doors opened. Three imposing figures entered, their presence electrifying the room. The air thickened with anticipation, everyone sensing a storm was about to unfold. Damien Rowan led the way, his commanding presence filling the room. His black suit accentuated his powerful build, and his piercing gaze seemed to hold authority. Lucian followed, serene yet observant, his eyes dissecting the scene. He was a master of subtlety, capable of dismantling adversaries with quiet efficiency. Together, the brothers exuded an aura of unyielding control. Cashin, the youngest, radiated charm and menace, a magnet for trouble. The brothers' entrance cleared a path, as if the crowd instinctively yielded. Alexander tried to intervene, offering an explanation, but Damien ignored him. The eldest brother's focus was elsewhere, his indifference a chilling sign that Alexander's attempt at reconciliation would fall on deaf ears. Damien's gaze locked onto Evelyn, his demeanor shifting to concern. "Evie, are you all right?" he asked softly. Evelyn reassured him, but Cashin interrupted, revealing they'd seen the incident on video. Lucian confirmed it was spreading online. Evelyn pleaded for discretion, but the brothers' determination suggested they wouldn't back down. Damien's expression turned firm, his familial bond with Evelyn evident. "This isn't just about you and Alexander," he countered. Marina tried to assert herself, but before she could continue, one of the brothers likely intervened, silencing her and escalating the confrontation. Cashin's icy stare pinned Marina, his words cutting through her bravado. Lucian's calm yet dangerous tone emphasized the severity of her actions. Marina defended herself, but Damien suggested replaying the video, implying the evidence would contradict her claims and further incriminate her. The brothers' united front made Marina's position increasingly precarious. Alexander attempted to defuse the situation, admitting his mistakes and promising to fix things. Cassian, however, wasn't convinced, highlighting Marina's disrespectful actions toward Evelyn. Alexander apologized, but Damien made it clear that their focus was solely on Evelyn's well-being, not Alexander's regrets. The brothers' loyalty to their sister took precedence. Marina tried to defend herself, accusing Evelyn of manipulation, but Lucian's firm order silenced her. Cashin approached Marina, emphasizing the potential consequences of her actions. He made it clear that Marina's recklessness could have led to serious harm, and her weak excuses only infuriated him further. The brothers weren't interested in her justifications. Evelyn intervened, urging Cashin to calm down, but Damien insisted on defending her. Alexander protested, feeling unfairly criticized, yet Cashin's question struck a nerve. The room fell silent as the weight of Cashin's words hung in the air, suggesting Alexander prioritized avoiding scandal over truly safeguarding Evelyn. Cashin's piercing question left a lasting impact. Evelyn sought harmony, and Damien reassured her they'd ensure her peace. Marina attempted to regain composure, but Lucian bluntly ended her relationship with Alexander. His finality was unmistakable, leaving Marina with no illusions about her standing in the situation. Alexander affirmed his decision to end things with Marina, realizing his priorities. Marina was outraged, feeling betrayed, but Damien stood firm, asserting Alexander's choice was morally sound. He warned Marina to leave Evelyn alone, and security subtly supported the brothers. Marina, defiant, insisted she couldn't be controlled, but her defiance seemed futile against the Rowan brothers' authority. Cashin's menacing smile hinted at the brothers' true power. Lucian clarified their intention as a warning, while Damien ominously suggested Marina would regret underestimating them. As she surveyed the scene, public scrutiny, media presence, and the brothers' formidable stance, Marina understood she was at a disadvantage. Her bravado crumbled, recognizing she was outmatched in every way. And, most importantly, out of excuses. With a final glare at Evelyn, she stormed out of the hall, heels clacking furiously against the floor. When the doors shut behind her, the room exhaled. Damien turned back to Evelyn. "We're taking you home?" "All of us." Evelyn nodded, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. Alexander reached for her hand. She didn't take it. Not yet. There were still things to fix and conversations to be had, but tonight, for the first time in a long time, she felt safe. The gala staff worked quickly to restore order, but the atmosphere had shifted completely. Conversations were no longer about charity auctions or celebrity sightings. Everyone whispered about the confrontation, the jet, and the legendary Rowan brothers appearing like a storm summoned by family loyalty. Evelyn walked with her brothers toward the exit, each one instinctively forming a protective triangle around her. Alexander followed a short distance behind, unsure of his place. He wanted to be beside his wife, but he also knew he had failed her in ways that could not be fixed in a single evening. Outside, the night air was crisp. The runway lights stretched in neat lines across the tarmac, leading back to the jet that had delivered Evelyn's brothers in record time. A black SUV waited nearby. Damien opened the door for Evelyn. "We'll take you home, stay with you tonight, and figure everything out tomorrow." Evelyn hesitated before stepping in. "Damien, thank you, all of you." Cassian smirked. "You act like we wouldn't come. You're our baby sister," Lucian added softly. "You don't ever face things alone. Not when we're here." Alexander stood by, hands in his pockets, feeling the weight of their words. Guilt tugged at him. He had been avoiding the truth for months, how distant he'd become, how much pressure he'd allowed to drown him, and how Marina had slipped into that vulnerable crack. He walked forward. "Evelyn, can I ride with you?" Damien's eyes snapped to him. "No." Evelyn looked between them gently. "Let him speak." Lucian and Cashin exchanged quick glances but stayed silent. Alexander took a breath. "Evie, I'm not going to pretend I didn't make terrible mistakes. I did, and I'm sorry. Not just for what happened tonight, but for everything that led to it." Evelyn's gaze softened but remained cautious. "Alexander, I'll listen, but not right now. Tonight was a lot." He nodded slowly. "I understand." Damien placed a hand on the SUV door. "She needs a rest. We'll talk tomorrow." It wasn't a suggestion. Alexander backed away. "Just take care of her." Cashin raised a brow. "We always have." With that, the brothers stepped into the SUV. Evelyn gave Alexander one final look, kind, tired, but not resentful. Then the door closed. The SUV pulled away, heading toward the private exit that led to the Voss estate. Alexander stood alone by the runway, watching the taillights fade. He had never felt so powerless, and yet, somewhere inside him, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Determination. He was going to fix this. Meanwhile, inside the SUV, Evelyn leaned back gently, her hand resting on her stomach. Cassian glanced at her through the rearview mirror. "You sure you're okay? No dizziness, no pain?" She smiled softly. "I'm fine, Cass, really." Lucian nodded. "The doctor will check you when we get home, just to be safe." Damien looked out the window, jaw tight. "If she had hurt you." Evelyn reached over and squeezed his hand. "She didn't, and I don't want revenge. I just want peace." "Peace?" Cassian muttered. "Isn't usually what happens when someone attacks family." Evelyn shook her head. "You three being here, that's enough." For the first time since entering the hall, Damien allowed himself to relax. Then we'll stay for a while. Evelyn laughed lightly. A while? The last time you three stayed for a while, you bought a security company and turned my garden into a fortress. Cassian grinned. You're welcome, Lucian added dryly. And it kept the paparazzi out for 3 years. Evelyn leaned her head against the window and closed her eyes. Surrounded by the brothers who had protected her since childhood, she finally felt her heartbeat slow. She was safe. Her baby was safe. And whatever tomorrow brought, she would face it with strength. The Voss estate was quiet when the SUV rolled into the driveway, its headlights sweeping across the sculpted hedges and marble fountain. The staff, who had caught glimpses of the online chaos, hurried to open the doors. Evelyn stepped out slowly, supported by Damien's steady hand. Her brothers flanked her naturally, their presence a shield even in familiar territory. Inside the mansion, warm lights glowed and soft music played, an environment carefully curated to keep stress low during her pregnancy. But after tonight, peace felt like a fragile thing. Lucian immediately called the family doctor, who arrived within minutes. After a thorough check, he gave Evelyn the reassurance she needed. You and the baby are completely fine, he said with a gentle smile. Just rest. Avoid emotional strain if you can. Damien muttered. That won't be a problem. We'll make sure of it. Once the doctor left, Evelyn rested on the living room couch while her brothers quietly discussed security adjustments, extra guards, new access codes, a watch placed on Marina to ensure she didn't try anything unpredictable. Evelyn sighed. You three don't need to turn my life into a military base, Cassian smirked. Evie, this is the light version, Lucian added. If the situation escalates, the real version involves drones. And Damien. Damien gave a small shrug. He's not wrong. Their banter made her smile, something she hadn't done much of lately. But the peace was interrupted when Alexander entered through the side door. The brothers stiffened instantly. Evelyn sat up straighter. Alexander, why are you here? He held up his hands in surrender. Just to talk. I won't raise my voice, I won't argue, and I won't stay long. I just need to say what I should have said a long time ago. Damien took a step forward, but Evelyn gently motioned for him to stay back. Alexander approached her slowly. Evie, I know apologies don't fix everything, but tonight made something crystal clear. I've let you down. I've let our marriage drift, and I let someone like Marina get close because I was too distracted and too weak to stop it. Cassian crossed his arms. At least you admit it. Alexander nodded. I deserve that, but I'm done hiding from what I caused. I want to earn back your trust, not with promises, but with change. Evelyn looked into his eyes, tired, guilty, but sincere. The man she fell in love with was still there, buried beneath months of stress and missteps. And I'm getting help, Alexander continued. Therapy, fewer work trips, more time here, with you, with our baby, if you'll let me try. The room fell silent. Even the brothers paused, not convinced but listening. Evelyn finally spoke, her voice steady. Alexander, tonight scared me. Not because of Marina, but because I realized how far apart we've become. If you want to fix things, it won't be easy, and it won't be quick. I know, he whispered. Damien's gaze narrowed. If you ever let something like this happen again, Alexander met his eyes calmly. You won't have to intervene again. I won't give you a reason. Lucian studied him carefully. We'll be watching. That's fair, Alexander said. Evelyn reached out and gently touched Alexander's hand. The connection was small but real. Let's work through this, she said softly, slowly, carefully. Relief washed over Alexander's face. Cassian muttered, No mistakes, Voss. Alexander nodded. None. For the first time all night, Evelyn felt something hopeful stirring inside her. Something fragile but alive. A beginning. And with her brothers standing behind her and Alexander finally stepping forward, she knew the future, whatever shape it took, would be stronger than what came before. And so, under the quiet glow of the Voss estate, a fractured marriage took its first steps toward healing, a scandal slowly unraveled, and a family stood united in loyalty and strength. Evelyn had faced humiliation, fear, and uncertainty, but she also rediscovered support she thought she'd lost and love she feared had faded. What came next would require patience, forgiveness, and courage. But for the first time in a long time, she wasn't facing it alone. If you enjoyed this story and want more dramatic, emotional, and powerful episodes just like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter.